Welcome back. We are now moving pretty quickly through these mini lessons because of what we're going to do in Module 7. Again, remember to pause the video for as much and as long as you need to generate and populate your own mini lessons, as well as link everything together. We're now moving into mini lesson 6, which takes us to December 4th and 5th. Mini lesson 6 is a really good representation of the concept behind the mini lesson initiative in MATLAB. As you can see, we're moving into order of operations. However, we're taking baby steps, introducing basic problems that don't even include parentheses, nor they do include exponents for that matter. The next mini lesson will take it a baby step further. Finishing up with this page, you can see we also have included a visual aid of a typewriter. This is to explain to them that you start from the left and move to the right, looking for what you need to look for, and then starting back over. Let's do a slow walkthrough together while we're looking at the first problem on the worksheet. After we've gone over PEMDAS, even though we aren't using parentheses or exponents yet, we will still include them in our analysis. I physically stand at the board pointing at the 6, and I start shuffling my feet, asking them if they see parentheses. As I shuffle the length of the problem on the board, I then start over like a typewriter and then shuffle through, asking them, do they see any exponents? I then start over, and we've already talked about the concept of looking for multiplication or division. On a side note, that could be an even better baby step to slowly introduce this concept on day 1. I'm talking about teaching the why behind how you can and should look for multiplication or division, whatever appears first, as we go through the problem. Anyway, as I shuffle through, I point to the addition sign and ask them if it is multiplication or division. The answer is no, so I keep shuffling through. When I get to the multiplication sign, I ask, is this multiplication or division? I am not looking for an answer of multiplication. I'm looking for the word yes. My instant reply is, do it. This is where they put the 6 underneath, and we drill into them to bring everything down that we haven't used in the original problem down next to the line, down to the next line with the 6. You get the idea, so let's move on. All right, we're going to link this problem as usual, which I grab up the URL. Just as a reminder, the URL will link directly to the tab for mini lesson 6. So again, here I linked it already, so we're going to move on to mini lesson number 7, and that takes us to December 20th and January 2nd. As we discussed earlier, this takes us a baby step further where we add in parentheses. In fact, we add in exponents as well. You'll see on the mini lesson page that we have some extra links and extra notes to help with the lesson prep. Here's a quick look at the worksheet. Well, it's actually a slideshow, taking one problem at a time. So let's just click through real quick so you get a visual representation of what we're looking at here. All right, you get the idea. All right, so let's link this mini lesson to our spreadsheet, which I did already right here. And now we're going to jump to mini lesson 8, which is on January 15th and 16th. Looking at this mini lesson, we have some options. If we feel the students need more, we could use the PEMDAS Level 3 worksheet, which is actually going to be this one here. So that's this. And we can deliver it in whatever manner we see fit. I'm just going to scroll through just so you can get an idea of the types of problems. So they are a little bit more rigorous. Or we could use the worksheet titled Another with Exponents, which is right there. And again, slightly more rigorous problems you can see here. Or if we feel we're in a good place, we can introduce the giant order of operations problem. We put them in groups of 2 or 3 and give them each a long strip, like 3 to 4 feet long, of laminated paper. This thin, long piece of paper contains a giant problem for them to tackle. Each group finds a place on the floor, grabs some paper, and works their way through the problem. The point of the problem is to hammer home the importance of taking everything step by step. It's a fun little contest. When the group thinks they have it correct, they call you over. With the simple answer key in hand, you can start off with a simple no. Each subsequent call over, you can start to give them hints like waving your hand over an area that has an error. This activity, which I call fun frustration, takes the entire period, and the success rate is usually 1 to 2 groups get it by the end of the period. Okay, let's link mini lesson 8, which I already have done here. Let's look at one more for this video since we're still in order of operations. Mini lesson number 9 takes us to February 5th and 6th on our giant MATLAB course creation spreadsheet. Looking at this mini lesson number 9 tab looks a little overwhelming. I'm going to cut through all the various links and helpful hints and explain what this lesson is all about. This is a fun and energetic review game. It is an in-class relay race where you are treating the front display as a split screen, but it's actually 2 worksheets side by side. The worksheets are the same questions, but the problems have been rearranged in different order. I'm going to display and look through the rules link, which is right here. I'm going to do that with you. Okay, so the class is going to be split in half, and if it's not equal numbers, that doesn't matter because it's a relay race, so it really doesn't matter. There's a finite set of problems. One student will run up to the board and do the first problem. The teacher will then check the answer. If it's correct, they go back to their seat. If it's incorrect, they stay at the board trying to figure out what they did wrong by repeating the problem. The next student in line goes to the board and then tries the next problem, and the process repeats. And again, I'm going to show you what this looks like so you get a better visual. The first team that finishes with all the correct answers are the winners. So important points. If you ever need the teacher to scroll, just shout out, Team 1, please scroll. So you're going to see what that looks like. Because you as a teacher may forget to scroll down on the document, so you're telling the students, go ahead, just yell to me, scroll down. The next person cannot get up and go to the board until the person returning is fully in their seat. If this does not happen, the team will get a 15-second freeze penalty. This includes everyone, so what that means is if anyone is out of their seat while their teammate is attempting the problem at the front board, the whole team has to get a 15-second freeze penalty again. The people at their seats can give encouragement, like you've got this, but they can't help in any way. If help is attempted, the team will get a 15-second freeze penalty. Now, in addition to this, if a student is stuck at the board for a while, you as a teacher is not going to leave them up there forever. It's one of those things, read the room, where you'll say, okay, a certain amount of time has gone by. You can call up one teammate to come help you finish this problem. And then the last item is calculators for this particular activity cannot be used. The goal is for one team to get through all of the problems on their worksheet first. Let me scroll down on the mini lesson 9 tab so you can get a glance as to what this would look like displayed on the front board. So you have two of the same, they're different worksheets, but they're the same problems in different order. So these problems are going to appear later in this document, and these problems will appear later in this document. But that's how you get the idea. And you see how the scroll bars here, so if they answer a question, they're writing on dry erase on the front board, and then once they get through the third one, if you forget to scroll down, that's where they're going to tell you scroll, because they're ready for number 4. The other thing to point out is that you want to have the answer keys printed out for both versions on your desk so that you can quickly tell them if they are correct or not. The reason is because this can happen very fast, and you not having to go on as a teacher and quickly figure out the answer on your own is one less thing to worry about. Additionally, there are other documents on this tab so that you can play like a round 2 or even a round 3 should the game go by quickly. Alright, this takes us to the end of this video. Stay tuned for our next set of mini lessons in the next video.